Oh, I can't figure this thing out. It's telling me I'm trying to get the orientation of the camera correct, and maybe if I turn it this way. Okay, maybe that'll work. I don't know. So when you go live, they ask you to set your orientation. Like, are you going to have your camera? Are you going to have your phone, sideways or vertical? And here I am trying to position the damn thing. Oh, what a mess! What a mess. Anyway, I feel like you know who. Anyway, okay, maybe that'll work. So it's been a long time since I've done a morning video. Not for any particular reason other than I've just been busy. I get up early in the morning. I sit down and it's all about work for me. It's not all work. I mean, I'm squeezing in some fun here or there, but for the most part, it's just work. And like I was telling a friend the other day, over the course of my lifetime, I've gone through these periods where I've just focused on work intently, big time. I've just focused on work, and ultimately that effort pays off. It pays off quite well. And what I'm doing now is I'm really leveraging AI into my work, and it's like having my own personal assistant or programmer. It's like having my own team of programmers, if you will. And it's interesting. AI, from a programmer's perspective, it really takes a little bit of effort. I mean, some things you can just tell AI. I use Chat GPT, but you can just tell Chat GPT, I want you to create a button. And when somebody clicks on the button, I want the button to change color, something like that. I mean, stuff like that is relatively easy and straightforward, but then you start getting into more complicated efforts. And recently, my effort has been updating the finder, the locator, the shop locator for certified transmission. And they've got, I don't know, 150 places across the United States where you can go and have one of their transmissions installed. And oftentimes when I'm doing something like that, I will look at the big companies to see how they did it, because they usually have the deep pockets when it comes to hiring good quality programmers and a marketing department. And so I will look to those for inspiration. And the ones that inspired me the most, there was Amco. I think Amco's website, Firestone Complete Auto Care, their website. Who was another one? Christian Brothers, I think it's cbac.com, their website. And then Discount Tire, if I didn't say them already. And you go to any of those websites and just click on, find a shop, so to speak. And that's what I'm working toward. And interestingly enough, even with using AI, it's taken me the better part of well over a week to get it. I haven't launched the updated version yet, but it's taken me well over a week to get it just to the right spot. that I want it to be. And you know, it's interesting with the, well, I'm not going to go too far down the path of talking about business, but anyway, that takes up a lot of my mind, or my time, I should say, and my lot of my mental energy and my focus. And you know, I think back every now and then I'll be going about my morning routine of making my coffee, having my breakfast, what have you. And I'll look over here to this coffee station area where I'm standing, and I think I used to do morning videos all the time. And it's okay, but I'm just not as much into it as I once was. And you know, I look back over the last several years and doing videos, it served its purpose. It really did. Particularly when I was traveling over, like in Australia and what have you, it served its purpose. But anyway, what else is on my mind? You know, I can't say that I've really done a video and reflected back on the election, the big presidential election. And, you know, I'll be honest that I was holding my breath going into the election. I would, people would all, you know, ask me, what do I think of the election? And I'd often say, well, I'm hopefully optimistic. That's how I felt. I felt that I was, pardon me. Are you supposed to say pardon me when you sneeze? I don't know. But I hope some of you said bless you, because I know you're supposed to say bless you, but I don't know if you say pardon me when you sneeze. But anyway, the election, I was hopefully optimistic. And as I sat there that evening watching the evening unfold, I was, I guess, I was glee. I felt glee. I felt relief. Maybe relief is the better word. I felt an overwhelming sense of relief that the Democrats, the liberals, didn't win. You know, they call them, I've heard this, I'm not calling them this, I've just heard this thrown about. They've come to be known by in some circles as the party of freaks. The party of freaks. And you know, aside from the economy and everything being crap, having 4 years of essentially an open border policy and, you know, boys and girls locker rooms and women's sports and cross-dressers or transgenders or whatever. I mean, just hiring people, you know, DEI, diversified equity inclusion, or whatever that is. You know, hiring people based upon their sexual orientation or or their race, rather, as opposed to their qualifications. I mean, a lot of that stuff, just, you know, I was always scratching my head at how, you know, how we had become a society where people were trying to push that as being the norm, you know, forcing acceptance of the perverted, you know, the perversion, and the downright weird and strange. I was, and that's what it was. That's what it is. I was watching a movie the other night with a friend, with Gladiator 2, if you've seen it. Don't see it. If you haven't seen it, don't see it. It's the movie sucks. But Gladiator 2, and all I kept thinking, you know, they have like these brother emperors in Gladiator 2. and they look like freaks. And I was telling my friend, I said, look, even back in the Roman times, they had periods where the Democrats were in control. And but anyway, that I'm glad the election's over. Donald Trump. I'm not I don't know. I mean, am I a MAGA? I don't know if there's anything wrong with being a MAGA. Make America great again. I mean, Donald Trump. I mean, if you voted for Donald Trump, does that make you a quote unquote Trumper? I don't know. I mean, the left, particularly in the dating circle, in the dating scene, no Trumpers. Well, what the hell is a Trumper? Is everyone that voted for Trump a Trumper? I voted conservative. That's what I voted. I voted for conservative values and the conservative ideology. I didn't vote for Trump per se as much as the man as I did the party. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see. The next 4 years certainly will be interesting, especially the deportation. I hope they build the wall. I hope they build a rock solid, impenetrable wall. I hope they build a good wall. And as far as deporting millions and millions and millions of people, I have a hard time actually thinking that's going to come to reality. They will deport a lot of people, but the majority of the people that came in illegally over the last 4 years, I think they're going to be hard pressed to do that. So anyway, you know what else is on my mind? I woke up today and I let curiosity get the better of me, and I went online to see if I could make some reservations for camping in the Idaho state parks. Idaho has just a wonderful state park system, as good or better than any other state that I've been to. And I've learned over the last few summers that if you want to get into a good spot in a good state park, you got to get in early. And people make reservations well in advance. And so I went online today to see when the reservation system would open up for the coming year, 2025. And interestingly enough, they don't start taking reservations until the 5th of January, the 6th of January. And I thought, boy, I better mark my calendar. The 6th of January. And as I was telling my good friend Colin today this morning, as I was coming back from the store, I was telling him that, like his wife and himself, my favorite campground is dispersed camping. I like to go do dispersed camping, which is just camping anywhere but a campground, just driving into the forest or something, or into the BLM land, Bureau of Land Management, and camping in that way. And there's no shortage of places to camp, to disperse camp, but there are a few choice campgrounds that I really have come to appreciate and like. And I was telling Colin that I'm going to try to book 3 campgrounds. And not only 3 campgrounds, but 3 campgrounds with specific spots in those campgrounds. One campground is up at Lake Cascade, which is about 2 hours from me. And it's due north. Beautiful lake. Beautiful campground. And they've got a couple spots right on the waterfront. And that's what I want. It's all about being on the water, for me at least. The other campground is out by Henry's Fork over in the direction of Yellowstone and Grand Teton. And that's called the Riverside. I think it's Riverside Campground. And that's right on the Snake River. And there's a spot there. I think it's spot number 35, if my memory serves me right. And I want to get into spot 35 for 3 to 5 days. And then the other one, interestingly enough, is Bear Lake, which I just discovered several months ago. Bear Lake over on the border of Idaho and Utah. There's a campground there with a couple of choice spots right on the lake. And it's just beautiful. It's absolutely a beautiful place. So I'm marking my calendar for those 3 campsites. And as far as other travel plans, the same friend that I was watching the movie with the other night, she is a retiree from Alaska Airlines, and she gets these guest passes. As being a retiree, she gets these guest passes, and she can use these guest passes for friends or family. And she's got the equivalent of 4 round-trip tickets that she needs to give out, basically, and by the end of the year, next Tuesday. And you can book these round-trip tickets for any destination Alaska flies for all of 2025. And I woke up this morning and I'm thinking about that. And I'm thinking, where could I go? And I started looking at their route map. And of course they go all over the United States, but they also go up into Canada and they go to Alaska. Well, Alaska is the United States, but they go to Alaska and they go to Mexico. And as I looked at that chart of all the destinations, I thought, I really don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm kind of like my old man, my dad. My dad, as he got older, he just wanted to stay home. And to a great extent, that's how I am, with the exception of, going camping with my camper. I love my camper. Big shout out to Todd over in, I think it was Virginia, that turned me onto that camper. But no, it's just, as far as flying down to Mexico to lay on the beach, I don't know. I think what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is something that I've wanted to do now for the last 3 or 4 years. And that's to go back to Toowoomba. Toowoomba in beautiful Queensland, just inland from Brizzy. And to go back to Toowoomba in September for their spring carnival of flowers. They've got a beautiful parade, the spring carnival of flowers parade. They've got concerts, they've got everything. So I think what I'm going to do is use one of the guest passes and fly to do a round trip to Hawaii and space out the arrival and departure long enough that I can jump on a flight down to Brizzy and go see, this is all God willing, of course, and go see the Carnival of Flowers in Toowoomba. Oh, that'd be a dream come true. For me, at least, that would be a dream come true. But anyway, I am taking a trip next week, toward the end of next week. I'm going down to Florida. That's right. Going back down to Florida for 2 weeks, back to my old stomping grounds of Fort Myers. And I'll be in I'll be in Florida for the better part of 2 weeks. So anyway, the other thing that's on my mind, interestingly enough, is this. Can you see that? Johnny Seeds. That's right. Picking all my different varieties. Here's some Swiss chard. They've got chard. They've got potatoes. They've got peppers, of course, eggplants, melons, lettuce. They've got all the different varieties, you see. And I'm going to go, this year, I'm not going to focus on quantity as much as I am quality. Last year, I had like 25 tomato plants. But this year, I'm going to focus on quality. I'm going to find some nice varieties of some different things and just plant, some nice varieties and just have a beautiful garden, Lord willing, with some nice stuff in it, and see if I can't win some more blue ribbons. That's what I'd like to do, is win some more blue ribbons. So last year I won a blue ribbon for my heirloom tomato, the Ace 55. So I'll probably grow that one again. But anyway, that's about it, folks. I'm gonna head out to the gym. If you'd be so kind, leave a comment and let me know how. Just leave a comment just to say hello, if you would. Okay, and have a great day. See you later.